What if I told you there's a fish so stunning, so bright, and so misunderstood that even expert fish keepers, people who've raised predators, built monster tanks, and survived every mistake in the book, still fail with it? Imagine that. Everything in your aquarium may look calm, predictable, controlled, until you notice the one detail that shouldn't be there. Something so small, so subtle, that most people never see it. But once you do, everything changes. Before we go any further, understand one thing. Nothing about this fish behaves the way you think it should. And in a moment, you're going to see why. A creature so emotionally sensitive that strength doesn't matter, size doesn't matter, dominance doesn't matter, only clarity does. A fish that doesn't shout with color, but whispers it. A fish that doesn't attack, chase, or slam, rocks like a Mbuna, but glides with calm, deliberate confidence, as if every movement is a sentence in a language only Lake Malawi speaks. This is the Peacock Cichlid, Aulonocara, one of the most remarkable African cichlids ever shaped by the sandy mid-depths of Malawi. And today, stay with me because you are going to understand it in a way no book, no forum, no top 10 fish videos ever managed to explain. What you're about to learn rewrites everything you thought you knew about fish behavior, color, evolution, and aquarium stability. But what comes next changes everything. Here is the truth nobody tells beginners, and even advanced keepers forget. Peacocks don't survive through strength, they survive through light, through clarity, through emotional stability. When they trust the world, they shine. When they don't, they shut down like a light going out underwater. One small temperature drop, color collapses, one pH shift, display fractures, one aggressive tankmate flying past them, instant dull gray, like the soul of the fish retreats somewhere deep inside. And here's the secret almost nobody realizes. Peacocks aren't shaped by chaos. They're shaped by clarity. They don't ask, am I strong enough? They ask, is the world stable enough for me to shine? And when the answer is no, their colors don't fade, they vanish. Because in their world, color isn't a luxury. Color is communication. Color is honesty. Color is survival. To understand why, we need to go somewhere few aquarists ever imagine. The sunlit mid-depth frontier of Lake Malawi, the kingdom of African cichlids. Not the rocky fortress cities of Mbuna. Not the deep predator corridors where haps glide like torpedoes. The open plains of sand and scattered stone, where visibility is infinite, shadows stretch for meters, and every vibration whispers a story. In this world, vibration isn't noise, it is truth. Pressure waves travel through the sand faster than sound through open water. Crustaceans crackle under sediment. Microscopic organisms flicker like sparks. Every movement broadcasts a signal, and the peacock listens. Those pores on its head, not blemishes, not wounds, not random bumps. They are infrasensory pits, biological microphones tuned to the language of the sand. While most African cichlids watch, peacocks feel. They detect prey before seeing it. They sense movement before it happens. They read the world like a blind creature reading Braille. But the real shock is this. Peacocks don't only detect vibration, they read light distortion. When sand shifts, light bends. When prey wriggles beneath sediment, shadows fracture. When something alive moves, the wavelengths scatter in patterns that only Aulonocara can interpret. This is why some researchers call their system torch-type vision, a sensory fusion of vibration and reflected light that lets peacocks see through sand even in low-light conditions. Imagine being able to hunt by reading how water bends light around the invisible. That is the peacock's signature power, and this is why they collapse in chaotic tanks. Chaos scrambles the signal. No clarity, no color, no stability, no identity, no coherence, no survival. You think all peacocks behave the same? Not even close. Most keepers think Aulonocara equals peacock, but the truth is a hidden world of diversity. Aulonocara benshi, the yellow regal, calm, confident, stable, one of the best light responders in the entire genus. Aulonocara Stewart grantee, bolder, broader color range, deeply reactive to light intensity and flow. Aulonocara Jacob Freibergi, the aggressor, the rule breaker, the species that behaves more like a hap than a traditional peacock. Blue-toned species are the most light-sensitive. Their color shifts with spectrum more dramatically than any other, while yellow-toned species remain stable and resilient. Understanding these differences matters. Mix the wrong species and the tank becomes a silent battlefield. Hierarchies collapse, colors vanish, stress rises like unseen smoke under the waterline. A peacock tank is not a decoration, it is an equation. But now we reach the point where most people misunderstand everything. Sexual dimorphism. Why are males glowing like molten metal, but females dull, colorless, almost invisible? Most keepers answer with one word: camouflage. And while that is partially true, the real story is far more powerful. Females aren't simply dull, they are designed to disappear. Nature gave them one mission: Protect the future of the species. The male becomes the target, the female becomes the shield. This is evolutionary mathematics. In Malawi, light is attention, attention is risk. Risk belongs to males, not females. A male peacock shines because a female needs proof, not of beauty, but of stability. She doesn't choose the brightest male, she chooses the most consistent one. The male whose color doesn't collapse under pressure, the male whose posture stays steady even when another male approaches, the male whose light, both literal and metaphorical, doesn't break. Because in nature, beauty is cheap, stability is bloodline. And here comes the next truth most Aquarists never hear. Peacock males don't fight like Mbuna. They wage a different kind of war. A war of presence, not impact. A war of color, not contact. A war of pressure, not punches. Dominant males emit subtle chemical cues, pheromones, that prime the environment. They adopt posture patterns that manipulate how light reflects off their scales. They create visual fields that suppress other males. Subdominant males dim, not because they are weak, but because evolution taught them a deadly lesson. Glow at the wrong time, die at the right moment. Peacock tanks are not communities, they are monarchies. One king, one heir, many shadows. And here's another secret. Peacocks turn gray at night. Not because they're sick, not because they're stressed, because evolution gave them a night cloak, a way to disappear during darkness, conserve energy, and avoid predators. Many beginners panic when they see their fish fade at night, but fading is survival. The real danger is when a peacock fades during the day. That is not camouflage, that is collapse. But we're not done, not even close, because everything you've heard so far is only the surface of this story. What comes next dives deeper into a world of breeding rituals, light physics, infant development, and the hidden rules of Malawi that decide who lives, who thrives, and who disappears. And now we enter the part almost no one understands. Not beginners, not intermediates, not even many so-called experts. The part where the peacock reveals what it truly is. Not a colorful fish, not an ornament, but a creature built on evolutionary choreography. Because breeding for a peacock is not reproduction, it is performance. And every movement, every shimmer, every grain of sand matters. A male peacock does not dig a pit. He builds a stage. He sweeps the sand into a wide, perfect bowl. Not randomly, but angled to reflect light upward onto his own body. When he stands inside it, the sun amplifies him like a spotlight. His colors don't just look brighter, they become brighter because peacock scales contain microscopic crystal plates that refract light, splitting wavelengths into layers of blue, yellow, red, and metallic sheen. This is why lighting determines dominance. The male who controls light controls perception. The male who controls perception controls mating. This is not decoration, this is physics. But here is the part that truly decides the future of the species, the tremble, a subtle vibration that runs from the spine to the fins, not shaking, not fear, a coded signal that says, my energy is stable, my body is strong, my nerves are steady, my genetics can withstand stress. A female watches this. You think she cares about color? No. She cares about what color means. Metabolic health, stress resilience, neurological calmness under pressure. The male who trembles steadily is the male who has optimized his energy economy. Only a stable male can maintain vibration without collapsing. And females know this. They always have. So she tests him. First with distance. Does he maintain posture? Then with movement. Does he break rhythm? Then with angle? Does he hold the shimmer when she shifts perspective? Then with patience, does he exhaust himself prematurely or does he stay composed? If he fails any of these unspoken tests, the female leaves without a sound. If he succeeds, she drops eggs into the sand. But here comes the miracle. She doesn't leave them there. She scoops them instantly into her mouth. He releases sperm over the egg spots on his anal fin, tricking her into thinking they are eggs. She scoops again. Evolution's optical illusion completes the ritual, and then she disappears into silence. For 21 days, the female does something almost no other African cichlid does at this scale. She does not eat, she does not rest, she does not defend herself. She surrenders everything, body energy, stamina, safety, to a single task, rotating her eggs with gentle, rhythmic movements so oxygen reaches every developing embryo. A beginner might say, she looks tired, but the truth is much deeper. She is rewriting the future inside her mouth. If the tank becomes unstable, pH swings, bullying, light changes, she spits to save herself. If she panics, she swallows to end the suffering quickly. But if stability holds, she releases tiny replicas of the species, already tuned to the signals of their kind. But the story of a peacock fry begins long before it swims freely. Inside the mother's mouth, each embryo absorbs yolk, develops its lateral line system, and forms its first photoreceptors. Notice what evolves first. Not strength, not muscles, not jaws, sensors. the ability to read water before being able to fight it. Aulonocara fry are born as miniature signal receivers. Their entire worldview is built from sensation, not force. This is why chaotic tanks kill them, not physically, but informationally. Once free swimming, they face their first test, micro-prey hunting. They snap at tiny organisms, learning the rhythm of vibration and reflection. Their environment must be gentle. No harsh flow, no sudden lighting, no tankmates that steal food mid-water. A peacock fry's digestive system is delicate. Too much protein and their organs overload. Too large a pellet in their gut compacts. They need powdered spirulina, fine flake, or mashed micropellets. Small, soft, digestible. Not because they are weak, but because they are specialists. Their entire physiology evolved for micro-prey sifted from sand, not heavy predator diets. Feed them like Mbuna, and you sabotage them from within. But now we dive into something far more misunderstood. Tankmates. Most people treat Malawi cichlids like interchangeable puzzle pieces. They're all Africans, so they go together. Wrong. Dead wrong. Mbunas smash rocks like underwater jackhammers. Their territorial explosions send shockwaves through the tank that a peacock interprets as earthquakes. Haps sprint through the water column like torpedoes, creating vortex pressure that scrambles the peacock's sensory map. Even non-aggressive fish can destroy a peacock's world simply by moving wrong. Because a peacock doesn't need to be bitten to be bullied. The wrong energy is enough. The wrong flow is enough. The wrong rhythm is enough. Peacocks thrive with peacocks, fish that argue with shimmer, posture, color, but rarely with violence. Their communication is visual, not physical. Their disputes are dances, not collisions. Put a peacock with Mbuna, and you extinguish his light. Put a peacock with fast haps, and you confuse his sensors. Put a peacock with peaceful but hyperactive species, and you overload his nervous system. Stability isn't just water parameters. Stability is social architecture. And now lighting, the part every beginner thinks they understand, until their fish turns dull and they blame stress. Peacocks don't shine because LEDs make them shine. They shine because microscopic guanine platelets inside their scales refract and split light. Blue wavelengths intensify blues. Warm wavelengths ignite reds and golds. Full spectrum blends create metallic iridescence. But here is the secret. Intensity matters more than color. Too much light burns confidence. Too little suffocates identity. Lighting determines hierarchy. A dominant male under weak lighting looks weak. A subdominant male under strong lighting becomes confused, tries to challenge too early, and gets emotionally shattered when he loses. One wrong lighting choice can collapse the entire social structure. Heat, also a signal. Peacocks evolved in narrow temperature ranges. Too much fluctuation, and their metabolism destabilizes. They are not fragile, they are honest. They reveal every instability long before you notice. They dim before they die. They fade before they fail. They whisper before they collapse. But what happens next, what we explore in the final part, changes everything you thought you knew about keeping African cichlids. Because stability isn't just science, it's philosophy. And once you understand the hidden laws peacocks live by, you will never look at your tank the same way again. And now we reach the part that decides everything, not lighting, not diet, not aggression, not even breeding. The part almost every aquarist underestimates, stability. Not good water, stability. Because peacocks don't die from bad water. They die from changing water. A half-point pH swing, disaster, a 2-degree temperature drop, collapse, filter cleaned too aggressively, panic, missing minerals in the refill bucket, confusion, heater fluctuation, emotional shutdown. Most African cichlids tolerate chaos. Aulonocara interprets chaos as doom. In the wild, instability means predators, means storms, means sandstorms that bury prey and erase signals. Instability means move or die. In the aquarium, they cannot move. So instead, they fade. This is where beginners get confused. They look at color loss and think, maybe he's tired. No, color loss is language. A peacock doesn't have words, he has wavelengths. If he dims, he is telling you the world is wrong. If he dulls, he is pleading for clarity. Color is not appearance, color is communication. But now for the twist that shocks even advanced keepers, a peacock is not fragile. He is honest. He will warn you every time the tank takes a wrong turn. If your peacock dims, the tank is dimming. If he shines, the world is right. Your test kit tells you numbers. Your peacock tells you truth. This brings us into the science of energy economy. Peacocks burn energy differently from Mbunas or haps. Mbunas spend energy on territory defense, constant motion, rock smashing, violent bursts. Haps spend energy on sprinting and predation, short accelerations, long glides. But peacocks invest energy into something far more delicate, signal processing. Their brain constantly interprets vibration, flow, shadow, light distortion, chemical cues, posture signals from other males, microdynamics of schooling behavior, and the subtleties of female selection. That sensory system requires stability to function. When the environment becomes chaotic, their brain overloads. Think of it like a radio static drowning out every station. That static is stress. And stress for a peacock is not emotional, it is neurological. But now let's talk about something even deeper. The geometry of movement. Watch a peacock swim. It doesn't dart like Mbuna, it doesn't sprint like haps. It glides in arcs, smooth curves, soft pivots. These patterns are not aesthetic. They are survival algorithms. In the wild, curved movement minimizes vibration signatures while maximizing sensory input from the substrate. Straight-line speed would disrupt the light distortion fields they depend on. This is why strong currents exhaust them. They cannot glide in signal-optimized arcs. Their world becomes noise, and noise destroys their ability to interpret the environment. Now consider tank layout. Most aquarists build Malawi tanks like fortresses, mountains of rock, sharp caves, dark corners. Perfect for Mbuna, a nightmare for a peacock. The peacock's world is open plains, scattered stones, wide sight lines, soft sand that carries vibration like a drum. Too many rocks mean too many blind corners, too much turbulence, too many unpredictable shadows, too many places where a sudden movement creates panic. A peacock needs room to declare himself. He needs open lanes of visibility, zones of calm water, gentle sandbeds to sweep into display bowls. His world is not a fortress, it is a stage. But the deepest truth comes when we connect every part of this journey: vision, vibration, light, color, hierarchy, breeding, stability, and realize they all obey the same law: clarity. Evolution didn't give peacocks strength, it gave them sensitivity. Not as a weakness, but as a strategy. In Malawi, the fish with the best information wins, and peacocks are information specialists. They survive not by force, but by knowledge, by understanding the world faster and more precisely than anything around them. That is why instability kills them, because instability destroys the information field they rely on. And now, the final secret, the one that transforms everything you thought you knew. Peacocks do not hide the truth, they become it. Their color is not decoration, it is diagnostic. Their shimmer is not beauty, it is data. Their behavior is not random, it is ancient programming written by millions of years of selection. When you keep a peacock, you are not keeping a fish. You are keeping a living instrument that reads your tank with more precision than any test kit, any sensor, any equipment ever could. They are barometers of stability. They are mirrors of environment. They are storytellers of the unseen. So should you keep peacocks? Only if you want the truth. Only if you can provide clarity. Only if you can create a world where light is allowed to live. If your answer is maybe, don't keep them. If your answer is yes, then few fish will reward you like a peacock, because their beauty isn't decoration. It is meaning, it is history, it is evolution, it is purpose written into every scale. And now listen carefully, because this is your moment. If this changed how you see peacocks, don't leave quietly. Share your story, your victories, your failures, your lessons. And if you're new here, subscribe, not for me, but for the fish, for the knowledge, for the descent into Malawi, where Tropheus tests your patience, where Frontosa rule the deep, where Dovii hunt the blue corridors, and where every species carries a law older than us all. This is Dark Cichlids, where knowledge swims deeper, and your next discovery begins now. But before you go, understand one last truth. Peacocks don't just show you color, they show you the parts of your tank you cannot see. Every shimmer is a signal, every fade is a warning, every vibration is a sentence written in the language of the lake. Most fishes survive the world you build for them. A peacock reflects it, perfectly, brutally, honestly. So ask yourself, what is your peacock trying to tell you? Because here on Dark Cichlids, we don't just keep fish, we translate them. We decode the laws they live by. We follow the stories written in sand, in light, in silence. Stories most keepers never notice. If this video opened a door for you, step through it. Tell me what your peacock taught you. Tell me when he dimmed. Tell me when he shined. Tell me the moment something finally clicked. Your story is the next chapter, and the next world we explore may already be swimming in your tank. Stay with Dark Cichlids, where beauty is information, where behavior is language, and where every species carries a truth waiting to be uncovered. See you in the next one.